Bo,
Yeah.
Keir Starmer is subverting or destroying out and out, in fact, democracy. He's terrified of voters. He's terrified of reform. And it shows. It shows because he has once again delayed mayoral elections. Now, these are 4 key areas in England where reform is predicted, at least in 3 of them, to win.
Okay.
Now, there's a few things to this. It's not just this, because he's taken a 2-pronged approach as good old Keir Starmer. Sorry, get his name right. Keir Starmer. And I think this has been missed by a few people. You know, there's that thing that people have been banging on about for a while that everyone wanted, proportional representation. And Keir Starmer is not interested in that, is he?
Big parties don't like it, no.
No, they do actually. For mayoral elections.
Oh.
Funny that. Because that would benefit whom? Well, actually, it wouldn't necessarily benefit Labour, but it would benefit the Tories, which would be a less embarrassing defeat. And also put it straight back in the blob.
Well,
wouldn't it?
Good point, yeah.
The uni party. Interesting, this, isn't it? So, this has been quite a cunning and conniving scheme by the Labour Party, which has gone relatively under the radar for a lot of people. Now, I only found out about this while I was looking up all of this mayoral election crap. And I so happened to type in, by accident, bill. There was a bill. And it's this thing. There's a new bill actually in front of the Lords right now. It's about to be passed, which is to add proportional representation to the mayors, to the mayor voting system.
Very interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We're getting into some realpolitik here.
There's a number of layers, a number of things to say about all of this. Yeah, this is sort of new to me. I'm surprised. It really has gone under the radar, that as well. This is the first time hearing of it. And if it's in front of the Lords, it means it will go through if the government are committed to it, which it sounds like they are. So
it's called, just for everyone to know.
Sorry, go
on. It's called the English Devolution and Community Empowerment Bill. And it will categorically scrap first past the post for mayoral and police and crime commissioner elections. Now, that doesn't actually matter about the police and crime commissioner because they have scrapped that. Yeah. They've stated that they are scrapping that role, but they're not scrapping mayors. That's something that they're keeping. So it will only affect mayoral elections. And it will reinstate the more, quote unquote, representative supplementary vote system.
Okay. I mean, the first thing I'm thinking of is that that's a chink in the armor in favor of PR. Right? If you're a PR person, a PR campaigner, you would think, yes, right, fine. There's quite literally like a chink in the armor, like, oh, the first domino has fallen, that sort of thing. Like this is strong just for our argument on a broader meta level. So there's that. Next thing I would say is just to put all the cards on the table. My feelings about PR. I'm pro PR. I'm not sort of like crazy about it. I've met a few people that it's like one or two people where it's sort of their full-time job to be a PR activist type person and work for an organization that just push for it. I don't think I'd use my time doing that, but I wish them all the luck in the world. I mean, first past the post does really, really benefit established big parties, and I'm not for that. I'd like to see the 3 main parties, all 3 of them destroyed, completely annihilated down to 0 seats. Anyway, so yeah, I'm for PR. When Cameron and Clegg made that coalition government, it was part of the Lib Dems. They insisted on having a PR, a full referendum, a nationwide referendum. Cameron rushed that through like as quickly as humanly possible and tried to get it under the radar as much as possible. And the turnout for it was tiny, and it lost. And it's usually Tories, really, especially when the Tory party used to be big before the last general election. They would always say, no, never, because it was absolutely not in their interest. Okay, so all those things aside. As for this, what a terrible political situation you've got to find yourself in for Keir Starmer to be making this calculation. Right, it's really scraping the bottom of the barrel of the last ditch Hail Mary attempts to sort of keep reform out. I mean, kind of obviously, it seems to me. The last main point that sprang to mind when you're telling me this stuff is just my feelings on devolution in general. I would reverse it all. I think Britain was much better before Blair did any devolution. I'd get rid of mayors. I'd get rid of the London Assembly. I would strip Scotland and Wales of their assemblies. They can just have MPs that sit in Westminster like the good old days. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd do away with mayors entirely. It's an American thing. It's an extra layer of bureaucracy and just bullshit that we were fine without. Mayors. Come on. All right. So I mean, they're my broad thoughts and feelings about it. But I suppose the main point is, if it's true, and like the point you made about that, it's a calculation from Starmer just to keep reform out at any cost, really any cost. It says they're scared, doesn't it? It says they're properly shitting their pants, and it's a bottom of the barrel shit. I mean, what a loser! He's such a loser. He will go down in history as one of the all-time political losers out of centuries of political history. Starmer will go down as. Pretty sure about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's pretty massive. So again, really, really important to note this delay in the elections. What they're arguing, the reason for, and so where they are, Greater Essex, Farage would win Essex with a landslide for sure. Norfolk and Suffolk, Hampshire and the Solent, those two are polling currently for reform as well, pretty much. Now, Sussex and Brighton, maybe not, but who knows? Maybe. But they've now got to wait until May 2028. May 2028. Yeah. And the government is arguing that more time is needed to reorganise local government in these areas. But stressed more homes, better high streets and support for businesses were all on the way. What you taught? Why? What? You got to reorganise local government? That means you can't do a mayoral election. Are you joking? That's weak sauce, man. This is really authoritarian. It really is. You know, I don't believe in the mayors. I don't care about them. Much like you, I'd disband it all. I'd get rid of the parasites that is the London Assembly, costing millions. Like it's ridiculous sums of money. I'd get rid of all of that. But we've got it. So we should be allowed to vote on them. You shouldn't be delaying them. You know, this was a Labour thing. They wanted to have them. So unless you're going to get rid of it, you don't distort democracy. You don't disband democracy. You don't say, no, sorry, actually, we're just going to delay that now. Nah, it's really not on. It's really not on. And obviously Farage has come out swinging and said he would have won all 4 of the cancelled elections. And he's basically said, we're contemplating a judicial review on this, which is fair enough. Yeah, completely fair enough. I mean, can you imagine if Nigel Farage was in power and he was like, oh, we're actually just going to delay 4 elections? Mate, the media would go mental. He's basically Hitler. He's a Nazi. He's cancelling democracy. He's a fascist dictator. That's what they would say.
Yeah.
Not saying anything about it.
It does smack very much of just gerrymandering the system, just screwing with the very system itself to subvert it to your own ends, albeit temporarily. I was surprised, kind of pleasantly surprised. I mean, I do believe that reform is a containment project ultimately, but still, I was pleasantly surprised how well they did at the local elections. Still, it's in the right direction of travel, at least for me. So it's great that they did well at local elections, because it does, or not always, but it can translate into better,
indication, isn't it?
Yeah, into better actual parliamentary elections. But anyway, yeah. So Essex, Greater Essex, yeah, that's the southeast. So yeah, that will do well. And what was it, Norfolk and Suffolk again? Anglia, southeast, and the south coast. There, would you say Brighton? I mean, Brighton city itself is green, isn't it? Often very pretty green and super progressive. But the rural areas outside of Brighton, other parts of the south coast, are like Essex and Kent and Norfolk and Suffolk, i.e., among the more based areas of the country, actually, because they're the ones that are flooded by migrants a lot. So yeah, it just does smack of gerrymandering the system, and yeah, it's gross. I mean, what else can you say about it? It's just it's sort of sad that you would be reduced to something like that, because it seems like reform were going to win them anyway, whether it's 2026 or 2028.
Yeah, well, this is apparently what he said at this press conference. And Electoral Calculus put out their figures a few hours ago, and Reform would have won all 4 of these contests and would have won them quite comfortably. The government is basically committing electoral fraud on the electorate, and he's considering a judicial review. And the thing is,
sounds fair.
This is why that delaying the elections whilst also bringing in this bill, got to look at it on a 2-pronged approach, because what's a bigger embarrassment? Farage getting in, or the Tories again? Well, yeah, it's Farage. Who does this? Who does the civil servants want to work for? The Uni Party doesn't want to work for Reform and Farage, right? And so that's why that bill is really important, changing the way the votes are counted. Pushing closer to a proportional representation. In this way, in the way that they're doing it here, it would probably end up putting the Tories in power.
Right.
At least closely. It would be a more close race. Labour wouldn't win, that, like, for sure. They wouldn't win. But it would be closer. It would be closer for the Tories to be getting in. It wouldn't be such a cinch for Reform. It's just such a cynical, dog shit way of being an authoritarian dictator. He's such a pussy.
Yeah, cynical's the right word. Cynical's absolutely the right word. And electoral fraud rings true as well. The idea that I think that if they put it back to 2028, assuming we're on the same sort of trajectory of travel politically, I'm speaking, by 2028, assuming for some reason Reform don't completely implode, by then they'll be even more powerful at the ballot box. So they'll probably still win it anyway, I would have thought. But I mean, who knows? That argument that we need more time, like 2 years or plus to get our local infrastructure, get all the ducks in a row for that. It's like, yeah, no, I smell bullshit. Yep.
Yeah, massively.
I smell bullshit there. Don't buy that. Don't buy that.
Yeah.
No. These people, they'll stop at almost nothing, it seems.
Yeah.
It's the last hurrah. Labour won't be in power for a long time after this. Long time.
Literally never again. I doubt it. I doubt ever again.